Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of The Process Fixer. I'm Derrick Maines, your host. Hey, this is a wrap for season 3. So I just wanted to do a quick video today, or audio, if you're listening by the podcast, to thank you so much for tuning in so far. As you probably noticed, or if you are a regular listener, we did hit 1 million downloads a couple months ago, and the audience really has been growing. We consistently are growing as a show. And I thank you for that, for sharing the message that we have. Speaking of message, as you've probably seen through this show, there's been multiple iterations. I started out talking a lot about new technology, talking about blockchain and cryptocurrencies and smart contracts. And then as things moved into AI, we started taking an AI slant on a lot of the things that we were talking about. In the end, all that comes back to the core business that I have been involved in for over 20 years, and that's process efficiency. My history, I came from a background of sustainability, working with large organizations to try to make them more efficient and more sustainable. That's translated now into a career where I have worked with over 150 companies. My goodness, it's probably going on 200 at this point, to help them revise, improve, and make their process more efficient. As part of that journey, we haven't talked a lot about it on the show, although we bring it up occasionally. We're going to talk a lot more about it in 2024. I really think that what we're seeing with technology and the advancement of technology, particularly over the last 24 months, but a lot of this has to do with the last 12 months. There's an opportunity right now for us as business owners, for us as operational leaders, for us as leaders of business and industry to make some pretty big improvements. Efficiency has been something that's been part of what I like to talk about for my entire career. It goes to the wayside usually when the economy is really good. And a lot of people are outgrowing their organizations and focusing on the top line of sales. But as you've probably heard me talk about on this podcast, there are inputs, throughputs, outputs, and outcomes. Inputs are all of the orders and the things that we all know about, our lead generation cost, our cost per acquisition, what it takes to get a customer, where we get those customers from. We also understand our supply chain. We understand where the materials come from. We understand that we as an organization transform inputs into outputs. That's what we do. We create value for customers by transforming inputs into outputs. And the outputs really are that thing that are on the bottom line of your P&L. That's your profit. That's the number of items you shipped. That's the revenue you had, the number of customers you had. Outcomes, on the other hand, that's your NPS scores, your employee NPS scores. It's returning customers. It's Yelp reviews. This is what people are looking for. This is why they're buying from you. They're trying to obtain value from you. But for the most part, leaders don't understand the throughput of the business: input, throughput, output, outcome. They understand that input. They know those numbers. They know the outcome numbers. Many of them, they know the output numbers. Many of them even understand the outcome numbers, but very few understand throughput. For 2024, we're going to talk a lot about throughput. It's important to me because it is the difference between being profitable and being unprofitable. It's the difference between making a living and being a wildly profitable organization. My focus and goal for 2024 is to show you how to become more efficient, where to find challenges inside your organization, where to design process so that you can gain a strategic advantage over your competitors and you can provide a higher level of value to your customers. As part of that, I also want to talk a lot this year about your employees and why they are so important to the process. Sam, you've seen on a couple of shows, he and I recently did some talking to a bunch of CEO groups, and Sam's message is really clear. There is no such thing as customer experience. All there is employee experience. Your employees experience your brand through your customers experience your brand through your employees, making their lives better, removing pain from them, helping them understand the most efficient best practices and courses of action, being very clear with them about instruction. All of those things drive the profitability of your organization. As we come into 2024, where once again, we are unclear about the economic conditions. We've got a couple of wars that have broken out. We've got larger expanding wars that are happening. We have a challenging political environment and a challenging economic environment. We've got challenges around immigration. We've got challenges around the climate. There's a lot of things going on. Growth is not guaranteed, but what can be guaranteed is profit. Building an organization that is focused on profit, that is focused on value, and creating value more quickly. This is what 2024 is going to be about with this show. To that point, I want to announce something that many of you that are around us here in Arizona know have been in the works, and you've even seen this application. But we recently, January 8th, we closed on the purchase of an organization and a methodology out of Kansas City called Process Triage. This is a 30-year-old concept that came out of a very large corporation and has been used thousands and thousands of times to help make companies more efficient. We are building our organization around that in 2024. We're going to be talking a lot about actions and results. We're going to talk a lot about pain, how we eradicate pain from our organizations, how we prioritize things. It's going to be an exciting time. I'm thrilled to be here with you on this journey. This is an operations podcast in the end, and what you're going to see in 2024 is real dedication to focusing on making you more money and making you more efficient. You're also going to start to hear from facilitators. The process triage methodology that we acquired is distributed, is worked out in the marketplace by certified facilitators. And we have dozens of certified facilitators that are coming on board this year. Many of those are also process experts. They're people that understand process documentation and SOPs and how to make your organization more efficient. We're going to bring them on as guests this year as well. We'll still do some of our theoretical stuff. You'll still get some physics in here. You'll still get some AI in here. But for the most part, we're going to really focus on your bottom line and driving your bottom line in 2024 in these uncertain economic times. Thank you again for being a subscriber. Hey, listen, make sure you share this show, both the podcast and the YouTube channel, with anybody in your network that you think would find value here. Value is something I think we're going to see at the forefront of the conversation for 2024. So many times we think about our business and we think about our costs and we think about how many things we sold. In the end, value is really the only thing we sell. We as organizations transform inputs into outputs for the creation of value for our customers. We're going to talk a lot about this. We're going to get into that this year. We're going to talk about how you can create strategic advantages with that. And we're going to show you ways to improve your business exponentially. Thanks again for tuning in. Make sure you share this podcast with all your friends that are in operations or executives that want to learn more. And we're going to be out a lot speaking this year too. I've become a Vistage speaker. We've got a lot of speaking engagements coming up this year. So make sure you, if you're in Vistage, you'll probably see us out on the circuit. And we're excited about that too, and hope to meet many of you in person this year, 2024. Okay, we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
You ready? Let's go. Welcome to the Process Fix to help you see the bigger picture. Derrick Maines is the elixir, cut and waste away like scissor. Woo! Got a problem, he can solve it. He's an expert with the process, so for sure you'll see a profit. Bottom line profit. Analyze the work your people doing every day. Expose the inefficiencies getting in the way. Advise you how to automate, outsource, abbreviate, eliminate, innovate. Now there's more food up on your dinner plate.